Welcome to the lecture series on design and analysis of algorithm. Today, in this video, we discuss about the knapsack problem which is solved under dynamic programming. A brief introduction to the dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is a technique for solving the problems with overlapping subproblems. Whenever we are having a problems that can be solved by solving the subproblems, we can use dynamic programming. Subproblems arise from the recurrence relation that relates the given problem solution to the solutions of its smaller subproblems. Dynamic programming also suggests that solving each of the smaller subproblems only once and recording the results by using something called as memory functions in a table from which the solution to the original problem can be obtained. The dynamic programming can be used when the solution to the problem can be viewed as a sequence of decisions. Some of the problems that we used to solve using dynamic programming are multi-stage graphs, knapsack problem, 0-1 knapsack problem. So these are some of the problems that can be usually solved in dynamic programming. Dynamic programming basically works based upon the principle of optimality. The principle of optimality is the basic principle of dynamic programming, which is developed by the American mathematician Richard Bellman. What the principle of optimality says? The principle of optimality states that an optimal solution has the property that whatever may be the initial state or initial decisions, initial conditions are, the remaining decisions must constitute an optimal solution with regard to the state resulting from the first decision. Of course, dynamic programming works with the sequence of steps, sequence of decisions. So principle of optimality states that whatever may be the previous states or previous conditions, previous decisions, remaining decision must constitute an optimal solution. So optimal solution is guaranteed by dynamic programming. What are some of the differences between the greedy method and dynamic programming? This is discussed in brief here. Particularly the feasibility. So what the greedy method, we make the choices best at that particular moment and it won't result optimal always. Optimal is not guaranteed there. Whereas in a dynamic programming, at each step, solution to the previously solved subproblems are used to compute the optimal solution, and it guarantees that always it leads to the optimal solution. One more thing with respect to the methodology that is used, greedy method uses some heuristic methods at each step, whereas the dynamic programming uses the recurrence formula to use the previously computed results to solve the problem. No extra memory is used in a greedy method, whereas some information, the solution to the earlier subproblems need to be stored in dynamic programming. That is why it consumes little amount of memory. Usually the time complexity of the greedy method is generally faster compared to the dynamic programming. Some of the examples are fractional knapsack problem can be solved by using the greedy method, which results optimal solution, whereas dynamic programming you can solve 0-1 knapsack problem, which guarantees the optimal solution. Suppose the 0-1 knapsack problem is solved using the greedy method, it is optimal solution is not guaranteed. So let us understand the problem statement of the 0-1 knapsack problem. So given a knapsack, given some n number of items, and these items are having the weights of W1, W2, say Wn. and the values or profits of the items are V1, V2, say Vn, and the capacity of knapsack is given as W. The task is to find out the most valuable subset of items that fit into the knapsack. So we need to find out the subset of items whose total weights are less than the capacity of the knapsack, and the profit should be maximized. So mathematically the problem statement can be written as, so maximize summation of I is equal to 1 to n Vi into Xi, subject to the constraint that summation of weight into Xi, Wi into Xi should be less than or equal to the capacity of the knapsack, that is W. Here Xi, either it is 0 or 1. 0 means the item is not included in the knapsack. 1 means the item is included in the knapsack. So we are supposed to find out for all the items what is the value of Xi. So if the value of Xi is equal to 1 means it is included as a subset, and if Xi is equal to 0 it is excluded from the subset of the solution. How we can get the solution to the knapsack problem, 0-1 knapsack problem? So to get the solution for the 0-1 knapsack problem using dynamic programming, we need to derive the recurrence relation that expresses the solution in terms of the smaller sub instances. So let us consider an instance of the problem where let us consider only the first I items. Let us consider first I items whose weights are W1 to Wi and whose values are W1 to V1 to Vi. Let the capacity of the knapsack is J. Let the capacity of the knapsack is J. J should be chosen in between 1 to W. Now let us assume that f of ij gives the values of all the items selected in the knapsack for the optimal solution. Considering first I items, considering the weight of the knapsack as J, f of ij be the value of the optimal solution. We can divide all the subsets of the first I items that fit into the knapsack with capacity J into two categories. So f of ij solution is got by considering the ith item. So there are two cases arise whenever we take the decisions for the ith item. What is that? The one decision is nothing but including the ith item in the optimal solution. The second one is without including the ith item in the optimal solution. So these two cases let us discuss in detail. Let us consider the two different cases. Suppose the subset of items in the optimal solution, suppose it does not contain the ith item. So for the computation of f of ij, we are not considering the ith item. So f of ij can be written as f of ij is equal to f of I minus 1j. The optimal solution for f of ij is equal to f of I minus 1j. This can be written because we know that the optimal solution does not contain the ith item. That is why this relation comes into picture. The other case is, suppose the subset includes the ith item. Suppose the subset includes the ith item. So then f of ij can be written as f of ij is equal to value of the ith item plus what is the value of the knapsack. What is the value of the knapsack before filling the ith item? Before filling the ith item, the value of the knapsack is f of I minus 1, comma, j minus wi, where wi is the weight of the ith item. Suppose we are not including the ith item means So before adding the ith item, the total weight of the knapsack is j minus wi. So that is why the while including the ith item, the optimal solution is the relation can be derived as f of ij is equal to profit of the ith item, that is value of the ith item, plus profit of the knapsack items before adding the ith item. So that is f of I minus 1 j minus wi. So these are the two cases with adding the ith item, without adding the ith item, for the optimal solution. Now among these two choices we need to select the best one. So we go for the maximum operation. Nothing but f of I minus 1j. f of ij is nothing but f of I minus 1j. So this is the overall summary of the recurrence relation, so that using the sub problems we can solve the problems. f of ij is got by the sub problems like f of I minus 1j or f of I minus 1 j minus wi. So these are the sub problems. Now apart from these recurrence relations, initially some of the conditions we can initialize without using the recurrence relation itself, or consider the case where we are considering number of items considered are 0 items are considered. In that case, for all values of f of 0 comma j, the value is initialized to be 0. Similarly, suppose the capacity of the knapsack is 0. In that case, f of I comma 0 is always 0. So these are the two initial conditions that we can initialize. Moving on, our goal is to find out f of nw. So we have stated as of now f of ij, but our aim is to find out f of nw. Okay, so we need to find out the goal state. We need to compute the value of the f of nw. So f of nw gives the maximum value of the subset of the n items that fit into the knapsack, which capacity w and the optimal subset itself. So let us try to understand this by using an illustration. So for the illustration we required a table that stores f of some ij values. So all need to be computed from the top left to the left to right, and top to down fashion we need to compute, and let us see how it works. So the overall algorithm can be stated as this part is to initialize the first row with zeros. This is to initialize the first column with zeros. First column means first row or first column means the row and column with the index 0. And these are the two for loops for I is equal to 1 to n, for w is equal to 0 to w. And this is the case. Suppose the weight of the item is less than the capacity of the knapsack. So there is a chance that you can put it into the knapsack. So go for the two cases, without including the ith item, with including the ith item. So whichever is larger, initialize or update f of ij with that particular value. Suppose wi is not less than or equal to w. In that case we cannot put the ith item into the knapsack. So f of ij is equal to f of I minus 1 w. This is a summary of the relations whatever we have discussed so far. So let us look into the illustration. So let us consider 4 items whose weights are given 2, 1, 3, 2. The values are 12, 10, 20, 15. The capacity of the knapsack is 5. The recurrence relation just for our convenience. So let us write the table. So this is the complete table that is available. So let me explain how these values are got. Let us one by one let us discuss. Due to the initialization, the first row is made as zeros. All first row, all the values are made as zeros, and initialization, first column that is indexed by 0, all are made as 0. Now let us understand how to get this this particular 0. Okay, now this is a case where I value is 1, j value is 1. So here you can see that ith item weight is 2. Ith item weight is 2. The capacity of the knapsack is 1. So we cannot include the first item into the knapsack. So f of ij is equal to f of I minus 1j. F of ij is equal to f of I minus 1j. That is the rule applicable here. And moving on to the next one, f of 1 2. F of 1 2 is computed as the capacity of the knapsack is 2, the weight of the item is 2, it can be put into, so we need to go for the first condition. This condition we have to look into. Okay, so maximum of I minus 1j, that is nothing but the previous value, this is nothing but 0 it is. Then vi plus f of I minus 1 j minus wi. I minus 1 means previous row, j minus wi means 2 minus 2, that is 0. So 12 plus 0, 12 plus 0, it is nothing but 12. So f of ij, sorry, f of I minus 1j is nothing but 0, and this particular one equation, it is nothing but 12. So maximum of that, so it is nothing but 12. Moving on, next one we have f of 1 3. So f of 1 3, first item, the capacity of the knapsack is 3. Definitely weight of the item is less than the capacity, so we need to go ahead with the first one. Okay, so find out the maximum of f of I minus 1j. It is nothing but the previous value, that is 0, and vi plus, that is vi is nothing but 12 plus f of I minus 1 comma j minus wi, 3 minus 2, that is nothing but 1. It is nothing but this particular position. So 12 plus 0, that is 12. Maximum of 0 and 12, it is 12 itself. So that is how the value in this position is got. Similarly, the similar way we can compute the values for f of 1 4 and f of 1 5. So moving on to the next iteration, I is equal to 2. So how this value is got, let us understand. F of 2 1. F of 2 1, the capacity is 1. The capacity is nothing but 1. The weight of the item I, second item, is nothing but 1. So definitely it can be fit into the knapsack. So we need to go ahead with the first one. First here max of I minus 1j, it is nothing but 0. Vi is nothing but 10 plus f of I minus 1 j minus w, 1 minus 1, that is 0. So this particular position we have to look into. So 10 plus 0, it is 0. So overall the max of 0 comma 10, it is nothing but 10. Okay, so moving on to the next one. So this particular position, how it is computed, let us understand. So it is a one case which come across earlier, we didn't come across this particular case. Let us understand this. Okay, f of 2 2. So f of 2 2 is computed as compare the capacity, it is 2, weight is 1, so definitely it will be fit into the knapsack. So we need to compute these two formulas. Okay, we need to compute these two. So f of I minus 1j is nothing but 12. This one is nothing but 12. comma vi is nothing but 10 plus f of I minus 1, 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is nothing but 1. It is nothing but this particular position. So here f of I minus 1 j is 10. Sorry, f of I minus 1 comma j is 12. Vi is 10 plus 0. So 12 comma 10. The maximum is 12. Similarly, the next part, it is how this value is got. Let us understand. So this part is got by anyway, we have to compare. Go ahead with the first one only. Max of f of I minus 1 j, it is nothing but 12. Vi is nothing but 10 plus f of I minus 1, 3 minus 1, that is nothing but 3 minus 1, nothing but 2. So f of I minus 1 j is nothing but 12. By adding the ith item, it is 12 plus 10. So Vi is 12. F of I minus 1 j minus Wi is 10. So it is nothing but 10 plus 12. It is 22. So maximum of 22 and 12, it is nothing but 22. So in this way, we continue with all the iterations. We compute the values, and finally we will get the final value as 37. That is what we are interested in. So once this final optimal solution is got, the profit earned or the values, total values is 37. Now we need to understand what are the subset of items included to get this 37. To find the composition of the optimal subset, we use the backtracing the computations. How the backtracing will happen, let us understand. We have to backtrace from 37, see whether ith item, that is fourth item, is added or not. How we can get the information fourth item is added or not? Just look into 37 and 32, the previous value. Just compare these two values. You can see there is a difference. Since there is a difference, it means that fourth item is added into the knapsack. Since there is a difference, the fourth item is added into the knapsack. Now, let us say from the optimal solution, just to remove the fourth item. So if you remove the fourth item, the weight is reduced by 2, because fourth item weight is 2. So 5 minus 2, that is nothing but 3. So next, look into this particular position. You just assume from the optimal solution you removed the fourth item. So weight is reduced by 2, I is reduced by 1. Now just to see whether the third item is included in the knapsack. Just compare its value with the previous value, 22 and 22. Comparison, we can observe that third item is not a part of the knapsack. Third item is not included in the knapsack. Okay. Now start from this particular position now. Just to see that the second item is included in the knapsack. So compare with its previous value. Compare it with the previous value, 12 and 22. Yes, there is a difference. That means the second item is part of the knapsack. So suppose if you remove that second item from the knapsack, the weight is reduced by 1. The weight is reduced by 1. I is reduced by 1. So next you have to look into this particular position. Compare with its previous value. That will give you the information whether that ith item is added into the knapsack. Yes, there is a difference. So first item is added into the knapsack. So overall, what we can understand is item 1, item 2, item 4 are the subset of the overall items that are part of the optimal solution that gives the profit or value as 37. Coming to the analysis part, the classic dynamic programming approach, works bottom up. The one method that we discussed so far, it is a bottom up approach. So we are considering all the all the sub problems exhaustively. We have solved it and finally got the table with all solutions and got the final optimal solution. The drawback is that the some unnecessary sub problems also solved. We have solved all the sub problems, whether it is necessary or not. We have solved everything. So this is what the bottom up approach is. What is the time efficiency and space efficiency of the algorithm? We can see that we used a table with the size n cross w. N is the number of items, w is the capacity of the knapsack. So we have considered the n plus 1 rows and w plus 1 columns. So overall we can say n into w, strictly speaking, n plus 1 into w plus 1 spaces we have utilized. So space efficiency is theta of n w. Similarly, coming to the time efficiency, we can see that there is a for loop that runs over the table, two for loops. So it is nothing but time efficiency is nothing but big theta of n into w. Similarly, once the optimal solution is found, to know the composition of the items which is a part of the optimal solution, we need to traverse back. So row wise we need to go back. So big O of n, the time complexity is big O of n. Apart from the bottom up approach, we can also follow the top down approach. Top down approach uses the recursion to solve the problem. The direct top down approach to find the solution, which solves the common sub problems more than once. The drawback of the top down approach is that since the recursively calls functions again and again, the drawback is that some of the sub problems are executed or solved more than once. So that is why it is quite inefficient. So one alternate approach that we can propose by taking the advantage of both the top down as well as the bottom up approach. We combine the strength of top down as well as bottom up approach. So we design one such method that solves only the sub problems that is necessary. Bottom up approach, we are solving all the sub problems. Top down approach, only the sub problems are solved, but solved many times, some of the cases. So what we do here is only the sub problems that is required are solved, and only once they are solved. So the advantages of both the top down and bottom up approaches are used, and such a method exists and that are implemented. That algorithm is implemented by using the memory functions. So let us understand how that algorithm is, how that method works. So memory function based solution to the 0-1 knapsack problem. So this works completely using recursion. So initially we will call the memory function knapsack ij. So ij initially we need to call with I is equal to this value as n and j as w. Then it will recursively, it will give you the solution. So this implements the memory function method for the knapsack problem. The input is a non-negative integer I, indicating the number of first items being considered. I is nothing but the items considered. All the items up to I will be considered. J is nothing but the capacity of the knapsack. The output is nothing but the profit or value of the optimal feasible subset of the first I items. Now one assumption is made here. We use the global variables. Weights is one array 1 to n, and values 1 to n, it is another array, and a table f of 0 to n and 0 to w, which is very similar to the example or illustration what we have discussed earlier. Okay, and one more assumption is done is all values all values except the first row and first column are initialized with -1. I repeat, the column indexed with zeros, the rows indexed with 0 are initialized to 0. All other values are initialized to -1. Now, how this algorithm works? The algorithm can be stated like this. Suppose f of ij less than 0. F of ij less than 0 means that particular value in the table is not computed. If it is computed, it is some value other than -1 will be there. Suppose f of ij is less than 0 means it is not computed yet. Since it is not computed yet, go for the computation. If j is less than weights of I, suppose the capacity of the knapsack is less than the weight of the item, then we cannot put the ith item. So value is nothing but f of I minus 1j. The recurrence relation is the same recurrence relation that we have used earlier. So value is nothing but call the algorithm with I minus 1 comma j. Suppose if you can add the ith item into the knapsack, in that case this condition fails, it will come here. So value is nothing but the maximum of f of I minus 1j comma value of the ith item plus f of I minus 1 comma j minus weight of the ith item. The same recursion formula that we have used earlier. So once this value is computed based upon this expressions, it is assigned to f of ij and we will return f of ij. So please understand here, only the required things are computed because it is called in the top-down approach. And the second thing is, whatever it is computed already, the recomputation is avoided by looking at this particular f of ij value. So let us understand in detail how it works with an illustration. Let us consider the same problem that we used earlier. Now let us say how this memory function based knapsack problem works. F of ij initially called for f of 4 5. F of 4 5 there is a function call. So it is nothing but for this particular place the function call happens. Please note 37 is not computed yet. To compute this particular value, it will see two locations, f of I minus 1j and f of I minus 1 j minus wi. So it will look for these two values, that is 37, then 32. I mean 32 is not computed at f of 3 5. It will look for f of 3 5 and f of I minus 1 j minus wi. It is nothing but f of 3 3. F of 3 3. So this is the recursion call. Again, this recursion call will again it will try to call f of I minus 1 ji. It is nothing but this particular location, and f of I minus 1 j minus wi. J minus wi is nothing but 3 minus 3, that is nothing but 0. So this computation requires this one as well as this one. Okay. Again, if you look at 32, this particular one, f of 3 5, that requires a computation of this particular location, that is f of 2 5 and f of 2 comma 5 minus 3, that is 2. So this one. Okay. So computation of, I repeat, computation of this particular location requires the computation of this. So recursive call happens here as well as this location. Similarly, computation of this location requires this one as well as this one. So again, going back to compute this, to compute f of 2 0, of course it is already computed, initialized it is. Coming to this particular location, we need to compute previous this location as well as 2 minus 1. This location is also required for that. Coming to this one, f of 2 3, f of 1 3 is required, as well as f of 1 2 is required for that. Coming to f of 2 5, the recursive call happens for it checks for this one as well as 5 minus 1, that is 4, this one. Of course, to compute the every value in the this row, that is row indexed by I is equal to 1, all previous values are used. So all previous values are used here, and it is already computed and saved there, initialized. So please note here, wherever there is a dash, it means that it is not called. So we can observe here only the required subproblems to get the optimal solution for the original problem are only computed. Unnecessary subproblems like f of 2 1, f of 3 1, f of 4 1, all these are not computed. And one more thing is, suppose it is computed once, it is not computed again. So this is how we can use memory functions for the computation of to find out the optimal solution for the knapsack problem. Thank you all. Happy learning. If you like the video, please like and subscribe the channel.